What is up, guys? It's Ganking again here, and today I am bringing you a Jungle Zac guide for the Season 4. This is a game I literally just played with my friend GamerGips, and we played the game. And the reason I don't know why I did that, why I'm quite so pumped for this video is because I have an announcement to make, and that is the fact that I actually got partnered like yesterday. So I am incredibly happy about that. I'm really excited to be a part of TGN, and I'm just incredibly, excited for it. I mean, I when I first started doing this, whole YouTube thing like a year ago. I know it doesn't sound, it's not that long ago, but it sounds like a long time. In terms of internet length, I guess. I'm starting red buff, by the way, because I want to try and get an early gank in the top lane, which is what my thoughts are. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Trying to not go off on too many tangents this time. I didn't plan on ever coming into it to get partnership, and I was never doing it for money. I literally just did it for fun. And I actually got scouted on a recent video I made, the Vayne, derpy derp Vayne video, which was actually me. If you didn't realise, that's actually me being the Vayne. And if you wanted to know, if you haven't watched the video, go watch it because it's quite good. If I do say so myself. And what I was trying to do was actually condemn him onto the tiny little mid wall. I was trying to condemn him onto that, but he ended up shooting past. Anyway, let's talk about the game now. Enough about that. I've announced the fact I'm partnered. I'm incredibly hyped, and I'm ready. So this is Vel'Koz era, day 1. Hence why we have double Vel'Koz. This is a blind normal match, nothing too fancy. I'm just seeing it spamming dance. I'm starting red buff because I like to try and get an early gank top if I can. And in this game, Zac actually got a buff this in 4.3 patch. His blobs now pick up 50 distance as opposed to 25 distance. I'm going to switch it to blue. As you can see, I'm about to pick up this red buff. Vayne came up to help. Now, I've been playing Zac for quite a while, and quite a lot, and I've been trying to figure out a build that works. And this is the one. Well, this is one that does work. I'll be suggesting other items as well. Because obviously if the game doesn't go how my game went, then you obviously don't want to buy these items exactly. Now, I take my red buff, I'm just going to clear the camp out, and I'm going to start rotating towards blue. I'm going to leave Wraiths for the first clear, and in fact, just pick up Wolves, hit level 3, and then try and gank top. As you can see, our Vel'Koz is getting pushed back quite badly, and it actually plays very poorly early game. My GamerGips partner in crime. He obviously first time playing Vel'Koz and sucked dick, but then so did the enemy Vel'Koz. So it's just everyone getting used to new champs. Now, if we look at the top lane, this Lee Sin's playing very aggressive against the Jax, which I don't think is too smart because yeah, once he hits 2, this happens. I mean, I don't know. I probably would have been playing a bit more passive aggressive, maybe just trying to poke with the Q, and that's about it. Right, so I'm picking up my blue buff. I'm kind of low on HP, so I'm dubious to gank. And now I've seen Lee Sin when I didn't see what the whole trade that just happened there. So on my view, I've just seen Lee Sin in this bush and Zac push all the way to tower. So I'm not going to gank there, but what I do see is a Vel'Koz, who I know is incredibly immobile, easy pickings mid lane. Unfortunately, Pantheon comes out of nowhere and does start to attack me and does do a ton of damage because Pantheon in the early game is very strong. But Zac has got his E, and the King of Escapes does get away. However, my Vel'Koz decides to stay and gets chunked to fuck by the Silver Bolt's Vel'Koz passive, which is pretty much Vayne W, if you weren't aware. Now, I'm really low, but obviously I'm not going to die to raise because I've got Blob pickup capacity. But something I want to mention is the skill level up order, I guess, skill level order. I max E first, max W, then max Q, and obviously pick up your ult when you can. Your E is your key ganking tool. It lets you gank from really weird places that other junglers can't normally use, and if you want to be effective at it, you're going to need the range. So I just missed the Vel'Koz. If I got the stun there, it would have been a very easy kill. We don't get the kill, and I actually go down to passive, which kind of sucks. Our Vel'Koz goes down. I am back up now, and I think I die anyway. I have a feeling. I try and slow the Panther. He's got stun. His early game damage is very strong. That's what Pantheon excels at, is his early game damage, and his ganks are pretty good as well because he's just got targeted jump stun. So yeah, if I had another point in my E, I would have been able to make the range for sure, and it would have stunned the Vel'Koz, and we would have secured a kill a lot more easier. So now Lee Sin's going to come in. Let's see what happens here. Whiffed the Q, got knocked back. Chases Vel'Koz into our jungle. Doesn't ward hop. Instead walks around. I'm coming up now, and Vel'Koz face checks me. I W and E just about to land when the Q from a missed Q from our Vel'Koz just happens to steal the kill. Seal? Did I say seal or steal? You decide. Was it a secure? I don't know about that. I had a pretty secure. Not that I really care. Anyway, so in terms of items, I should have my Spirit Stone now. Yeah, I buy Spirit Stone now. I see bot lanes pushed, so I'm gonna try and do something down here. I don't know if you've noticed, but all our lanes are losing pretty hard at this stage. Jax is always pushing Lee Sin in, and our Vel'Koz is kind of low. Come in on this, get the stun off. I focus Graves because I see the rest of the team is focusing Teemo. I just need to get all my crowd control onto Graves. And then one swift W, which I actually put another point into accidentally at some point during the game, which is, it actually helped me get the kill there because it gave me enough damage. But I would have preferred the point in my E, because then on converse, when I landed in with my E, I would have also had some extra damage, so I would have done more bursts initially. So yeah, we've got places to go, people to see, so we're just going to fucking fling ourselves across the map, picking up these blobs, getting our sustain. Always make sure that when you're farming with Zac, to try and pick up your blobs, and even in fights, there's a really good example of this later in the video, which I'll show you, of picking up Zac blobs in a fight, and it really does keep you in. People really underestimate the healing Zac gets off blobs, and that's why he was so strong. Season 3, he got nerfed in Season 4, or not even Season 4, he got nerfed Season 3, late Season 3, and do you know what the nerf was? It was to his blob range. What has he recently got? Blob range back. Rest my case. Zac, strong pick once more. Nah, not necessarily, but he's always a strong pick. I don't think he's got the early game that other junglers do, which people seem to love, like Wukong and Pantheon at the moment. Those unconventional junglers that seem to be doing really well. I'm sort of here just in case Vel'Koz decides to get a bit too close, because it's an easy kill for us, but he doesn't, so I'm just going to take one farm, get out, and then, unfortunately, I'm already gone, and Vel'Koz gets jumped on, so that was just unfortunate that I was just not there to help. Not that I could have done a lot, to be honest. I mean, my stun was on cooldown. I don't really have a lot else to offer. But however, this Vel'Koz stays way too long, and I'm going to be able to pick up the kill. Easy peasy. So, a really good combo to do with Zac is, this might seem incredibly obvious, but I need to mention it. It's a Zac guy, do you know what I mean? It's to E in. No way, do you actually E in? Yeah, man, you have to E in. It's fucking grey day Zac right now if you E in. Anyway. Got to use your E to get in. Now what you can do is you can actually W during your E. You can use your unstable matter while you're flying or have just landed with your E, and that might not seem like too major, but it's got a 4-second cooldown, right? So if you activate your W just as you're in range, like as you're slingshotting in, you should. I need to pick up my buffs. Something I didn't do this match was watch my buff timers very well. I was very orientated on the lanes, and I wasn't watching my own buffs, so I needed to make sure I pick up these buffs, which is what I'm doing now. I believe my red's been up for about a minute, yeah, so that's pretty bad. I should have had these buffs already. Anyway, yeah, so if you W as you're going in, you get the damage from your W, but it also, because it's got a short cooldown, it starts to cool down early, so the chances are, once the stun duration's up, once you've got your slow off with your Q, you're going to be able to get another W off and get even more damage. So I stunned just a bit too late there, unfortunately, to protect my Vel'Koz, and I do ult for the kill because I probably didn't need to, but I wasn't up for messing around. I don't know, I just wanted to secure it, get it done, move on. Probably could have, just waited for my W cooldown, just kept hitting him. I had red buff, I had slow, so there's no way he's getting out, but I was just, I don't know. Suboptimal, but is not too important. Now I'm going to pick up my blue buff. It's been sitting around for ages. I don't want to give it to my Vel'Koz because my Vel'Koz's feeding hardcore. And that's not something I want to do to your mid laner. If your mid laner's feeding hardcore, don't give him blue buff. Job done. Give it to yourself and trust yourself. Now I use my trinket here to stop the ward, and if you notice, I don't clue the ward because that would give him vision of me, and then he flashes back in, anticipating to get the kill, but obviously I managed to get the stun off. So that's the power of not clearing the ward with the red trinket, although it might be a benefit to do it sometimes. I've actually fallen in love with the red trinket more recently, since the cooldown's been lowered and stuff. I find it quite effective, more so nowadays than what I originally thought. Maybe it's just because I've had more time to experiment with it. But yeah, so clearing the ward, not even clearing the ward, disabling the ward meant Jax didn't know I was there. I could slingshot in, and that would be that. I mean, for some junglers it might have been more beneficial to clear the ward because I don't have such a long range gap closer, but Zac does, so that's something you can consider when ganking. It's just leaving the ward disabled while you charge your E up so they have no time to respond to the fact that you're about to fly into their face. Now, looking at my build order, I also bought Sork shoes before my Ancient Golem. Now, that is kind of questionable, but I think that Zac needs the mobility first. I go in on this Vel'Koz, but I don't really get a lot achieved. I just sort of get a bit of poke damage off and then take a canny, which was worth. So that was success on my part, if I'm honest. Now I'm hoping this Vel'Koz is going to get greedy and forget I'm about, so I hang around here, hoping he's going to go for the kill on my Vel'Koz with his ult, and so I can E in from this position here. This is a great position to gank from when you're Zac, because you can fling over. These sort of corner areas are very good gank positions. Now I just checked to see if he's here, because he has stayed around. He did stay around before in a position similar to that, so I just checked to make sure. I'm just going to recall, because I think I've got my Golem right now. Let me just check. Yeah, I've got Golem, so that's probably why I'm going to recall. But I got Sork Boots because I want the mobility first, and also I choose Sork Boots over Mobos because, one, Mobos got nerfed to shit this patch, which I'm really unhappy about because Mobos used to be really good. Two, I don't think that Zac, he doesn't give Zac any combat stats, and I mean, maybe if you're super ahead and you can roam everywhere and just murderize everyone, then why not? I guess so. But I find Sork Boots are a much safer option. Once you get the pen, you'll feel like you're doing damage. You'll see your W like push something. You see the damage? I mean, it's not a great deal, but the fact that I can just stick to this Jax, and this Jax actually tries to 1v1 me and is really dumb to do so. He just literally gave me a kill for nothing there, which is really silly of him. At least make me work for it, you know, he could have fucking tried to run away. But he was probably dead regardless because of the amount of crowd control Zac has at his disposal. But like I'm saying, the Sork pen, the pen really does help with damage. You'll be surprised the impact you feel you're having once you have that, just that tiny amount of Sorcerer's pen. Oh, so speaking of that, I should probably mention my my runes and masteries. Now for Zac, I run something that's quite unique. It's a bit of an odd mix and match rune page. I run Magic Pen Marks, Armor Seals, Magic Resist Glyphs, and then I'm on Movespeed Quints. I mean, there's not many pages you'll see Magic Pen and Movespeed run at the same time. I think Zac's quite a unique example. Normally you'd run Magic Pen with AP Quints, or maybe attack speed marks with Movespeed, because you're playing a tank with the attack speed. But I think Magic Pen works a lot better with Zac. Now, here my Vel'Koz does a very good ult, and Lee Sin just happens to be in position, but I would have been able to jump back in regardless, which is what I do now to cut off his Vel'Koz, and I secure the kill. And by secure, I mean steal the kill from my Lee Sin. But remember, if you haven't seen my Udyr guide and want to learn to play Udyr, check the Udyr guide. Top tip from Udyr is steal the kills. Trust yourself to be the one who's going to carry the game, and not your Lee Sin top lane who's about to lose tower because he's never in lane. So that's just the main moral of the story. Take all the kills, which is what I do. And I have zero regrets. Now I'm going to come up behind this Jax, because while he's being on tower, Lee Sin will be able to distract him with his good juicy body, so I can use this to self-fling in. I also use my trinket on there just to make sure there's no water in the hood again, and then he gets the kill because I couldn't just, my ult wouldn't drop in time. And it doesn't really matter, because if he hadn't got the kill, he would have died. I'm not really mad that I'm not saying that, you know, he shouldn't have got that kill. But I'm pinging him back because I'm worried Pantheon's just going to man drop in out of nowhere. I see him coming up from mid, so I'm like, right, I'm going to push his way, try and do some tower damage before he comes in, because he might just be going to farm his jungle because, you know, people are mad and sometimes they make their own decisions. But he does come top, so I clear the wave, and now I'm just going to back out because there's no point in trying to push a tower with a Pantheon there. Now, in terms of build, going back to the build again, they have a Vel'Koz on their team and a Teemo. So I'm actually going to be buying a, what's that thing called that gives a little shield? God damn. Locket of the Iron Solari. Because of the passive Legion, which gives everyone AoE magic resist, that's going to be really useful against the Vel'Koz, who has a lot of AoE damage. Not great AoE, but he's got some AoE damage, and obviously Teemo Shroom's AoE damage. It's just going to be good for the team to buff up their MR a little bit. And also gives me cooldowns and armor and the active. Second item after that. Now, in hindsight, when I played this match, I could have gone Sunfire Cape, because if you look at me right now, I'm 6'1", 4. I'm fat as fuck. So Sunfire Cape, if you're fed, is a very strong choice for an armor item. However, I play it safe and go for Randuin's. Suboptimal, maybe. It's still really strong, don't get me wrong, but because I was so fat, I probably could have afforded to go Sunfire and just kept my lead even more. Not that I needed to. My lead's pretty strong. But yeah, I go for Randuin's just to be safe as an armor item. And then obviously, there is no choice for MR with Zac. You go for Spirit's Visage. Why? Cooldowns, HP, MR, and the passive makes your blobs heal you a ton. Now, one of the first mistakes I made, if you watch my Mind of the Bronzy episode 1, is I bought the Spell Vamp on the Spectral Wraith item. Do not do that. Spell Vamp Zac sounds like a good idea, but you eventually begin to realise that you don't do enough damage to benefit from Spell Vamp, and most of your recovery will come from your blob passive as opposed to any Spell Vamp you might have got, because you're going to spend HP to get HP, and if anything, you're just going to get a neutral benefit. Like, I'm staying back now because I don't want Teemo to get vision of me through the Shroom, and then I also missed that, but then we're going to get double stun from the Thresh Hook and the Zac stun. Very good engage. I killed the Teemo. I'm now going to run away because Pantheon man dropped in, and I kind of leave Thresh for dead. Regrets? I have no regrets. Does this Thresh have regrets? Probably regrets. If I had anything, like, I would have, could have, would have, possibly have stayed in. But if you can see, I don't have that much armor. I'm not that tanky. I've only got like 87 armor. I haven't been back to buy anything yet. I'm really quite squishy, to be honest. And Pantheon's in again, and I guess I kind of bait Vayne, or Vayne baits herself. Pantheon comes out of nowhere, so again I just get the fuck out. The only reason I lived there because they got Vayne instead of me. I was definitely worth more money because I've got shutdown gold as far as I'm aware, unless she also has some shutdown gold. But yeah, so now I'm going to try and hold off this tower, but as you can see, I'm taking a lot of fucking damage. He dodges my stun, and then again Pantheon comes in. He's never leaving, and Thresh gets raped. But I'm going to try and hold off this tower as best I can. Now, as you can see, I'm maxing my W second. I don't know if I explained that earlier, but you max E first. I know I said that much. Then max W, because it's the most damage. It's going to be crazy damage late game, because it's percentage HP damage. So you don't have to build any AP on Zac, because of that percentage HP damage. Now this Graze is really good at dodging my E's with his E, funnily enough. And then the Q is just really there. It's not that great for Jungle Zac. It's good for the slow, obviously, and you will get a greater slow the more you level it up. But that's just going to be better for late game. So now I finished my Solari. I bought 2 cloth armors in preparation for my Randuins, because I noticed how much damage I was taking from Graze, and I want to be tanky enough to deal with that. So I'm just going to run down bot, because I see everyone's like, there's a massive clusterfuck. Let's go watch what's going on. Clusterfuck down here. Vel'Koz secures a kill. Got the hook on the Teemo. Vayne's here. Got the condemn, the stun, and then the Vel'Koz auto secures. Now, Dragon's up, and I've just arrived, so I'm like, well, they're all dead. Let's get Dragon. Dragon calls, when do you make them? Good question. I'm not a professional. I'm not a challenger. In fact, I am bronze. And I'm actually not allowed to tell you where. I can. Yeah, I can. I placed, haven't I? Bronze 3. Wink, wink. Possibly. I don't know. I have yet to upload another part of the Mind of the Bronzes series, which might change that ranking in some way, up or down. Who knows? Maybe we should check that out too. But it's because I wanted to upload this video first, just to announce I was partnered, as opposed to my Mind of the Bronze. But that will be coming out in the near future. Now, I'm 1v1 Zac here. As you can see, I'm picking up blobs in the sustain, and he's taking tower damage. Now he beats my ass. I have to ult to try and knock him back, and because I know I have passive, I'm just going to jump in on him and try and bait him into staying, because I thought tower was in range. I come up and just lock at the Iron Solari, because I'm spamming 2, and then I managed to close the gap with my E and get the kill. That was incredibly risky by me, and it in fact probably wasn't really a good idea, and he could have got the kill on me if he wanted, I imagine, but I was so lucky because the last 2 of my blobs just happened to be under tower, and my plan was to be under tower when I died, so the tower would get the kill for me, and my passive would just be popped. But that obviously didn't happen, but I got the kill anyway, thanks to a nice self-fling. Is it self-fling? Elastic slingshot. I don't know why I call it self-fling, it's like cell division and fling. I don't know where the fling comes from. Now, obviously we killed Jack's top laner. I don't have any vision on Pantheon, but I imagine if I was Pantheon, I would be going bot lane right now. So I am going to push top lane in anticipation of Pantheon trying to defend the other more important towers, such as this mid tower and this bot tower, which are high priority targets. So I'm up here beating on this tower. However, Jax apparently has fucking light speed movement. And even though he died, he's already back, so I have to leave and I don't actually get any tower damage. If we just quickly go back and watch what I did there, it's nothing too fancy, but it's something that can help you. I'm level 1 now apparently. Level 1. Oh wow, this is glitching the fuck out. Oh no, don't ruin this. I can't show you what happened, I'll just oh wow, my lead replay is just fucked up. Let's try and fix it by jumping back 15 seconds. That fix it? No, it didn't fix it. Okay. Jump cut, I believe, is in order right now. Okay, and we are back, and it was definitely worth having to go through that again, just to show you what I meant to do the first time when it fucked up. Anyway, so back where we were, this is a bit further forward, a bit the other way, but all that happened was, let me just slow down to make sure I actually get it. So I'm getting chased, I'm going to run into this bush, now I'm going to get into this bush here, and then I'm going to be able to set charging up my slingshot before he can target me, if you know what I mean. So it lets me just, because I left a gap to get let the slingshot charge slightly without vision on me, it means I could get a bit further before he would have been on my face. I mean, like, it wasn't that game changing, probably wasn't even worth going back to try and visualize, but I don't know, I thought it might be worth. Now I bring Vel'Koz over here because I'm like, right, let's try and take blue buff. If he comes over, we'll kill him. Vel'Koz stops auto attacking, so he becomes invisible, and that means we get the double stun off and evisceration. Then I'm just going to give Vel'Koz his blue buff because I'm a good guy. Because we're pre-mates, and he's slowly starting to pick back up with the 4 kills. I am now 8-1 and 5, however, which is pretty nice. Probably make it focus on me, shouldn't I? Where am I? Let's go over here. Oh, I need to turn the right fog of war on as well. Would be a good idea. Oh god. Oh dear. Oh god. Anyway, now as you can see, I've got my Warden's Mail now and my Giant's Belt, so I'm getting very, very tanky right now. My build order, like I said, was going to be Randuin's, and then it's going to go into Spirit's Visage. Now, as you can see, I'm really far ahead, which is why I said that Sunfire Cape is not a bad option, and it's definitely a good option if you're ahead. Another good one to get late game as a maybe final item or something like that is Liandry's. Why? Because you got the spell pen, you got the burn damage, you got the HP. It's quite a lot of things Zac can do. Now, in this fight, you can see here, I'm just going all ham on this guy, but watch how I'm going back to pick up my blobs. I'm walking in to get blobs. And that's given me enough sustain to make sure I survive this Graves onslaught. Like, if I didn't walk around picking up my blobs there, I would have been a lot more low HP, a lot more at risk of dying. And I was just fortunate that he blew his entire combo on me, and it was on cooldown as he was trying to run away. But that's the key moment I was mentioning, where picking up blobs during a team fight can really help you with your sustain. Like, I'm already back up to half HP just from blobs, so it's definitely worth trying to do that, to try and, you know, kite around and get your blobs back if you can. Help you out in team fights majorly, especially when you get Spirit's Visage, because you're going to be like getting all your HP back. Now I realise this is very, very, very late in the video to mention this. I'm hoping someone might have gotten this far, in which case congratulations once again if you make it this far in the video. I appreciate that. I did mention runes earlier on, and I forgot to mention my Masteries. I am currently, I think I'm 129. 1 point in offense for double-edged sword, and then the rest all in defense. I don't bother around with that runic shield shit. Just get the tenacity, the legendary guardian that gives you magic resist for every nearby champ, and the perseverance, and you'll be set to go. Now I jump in here because I see Vel'Koz is on his own and he's incredibly immobile, and I'm not. So I can jump in. He does knock me back, but my ultimate doesn't hit full speed, and I managed to catch back up. I use my Q to slow, stun with my E, and use my W. The reason I'm not auto-attacking, like as you can see, I was just running alongside Vel'Koz. Now here I have to flash out because I'm going to get fucked by Jax. But we managed to go back in, and I secure it with a stun. However, I managed to actually steal the kill in the process. I just wanted to make sure Jax was not getting out with some fancy leap striking. Now, as you can see, yeah, I was walking alongside the Vel'Koz. Why was I doing that? Because all my damage is from my abilities, mainly my W. But I was waiting for the slow on my Q to come up, because if I auto-attack, I'm going to have to stop, and Vel'Koz is going to be able to get ahead because he can just run forward. I wanted to make sure that I was alongside him the entire way, and I just kept running alongside him, because like I said, all my damage is from abilities, not auto-attacks. I'm not an AD champ, I'm an AP champ with no ability power. Don't need it though, because Magic Pen. That's what I'm talking about, man. Then Sword Boots make you strong. The high base damage is all you need. As you can see, our team is currently like doing really well, and I really should be up there. But I feel confident trusting my team, and they've been able to win fights without me, and I'm the fed one, so that's really good. So instead, I've been pushing out the bot lane and picking people off where I can, i.e. Graves and Vel'Koz, like Graves when he was bot lane. Now, however, we almost lose our mid laner there, but Thresh manages to Shirelia's and pop a shield from his locket. He also bought locket. I guess he's got the same views as me. And man, that ult looks cool. And yeah, so I start to move up. I get drag, but then I decide just to push bot while they're all hanging around mid. And yeah, that's actually the end of the game. So thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope this was somewhat useful. I will try to summarize runes and masteries in the description if you want to see those. And thanks very much for watching, guys. I will see you sometime in the near future. Goodbye.